Hello, my name is Steve.
And I'm David, and welcome to Anime Plus, a special replacement for the normal podcast this season. Instead of our normal, I pick a show, Steve picks a show, and we do a joint pick, the fall season to us did not really catch our interest. So, the two of us decided, mainly from a lot of my influence, with some influence from some familiar voices that you probably have heard on the podcast before of John and Adam, who did a special episode with Steve about GQX. We've decided that this season of Anime Plus, we're going to dig into the universal century of Gundam, starting in the OG, using the 3 compilation movies, working our way through 0083, Zeta,
Char's Counterattack.
I keep forgetting about Char's Counterattack. And then after Char's Counterattack, we'll dig into Unicorn Gundam. And after Unicorn Gundam, we'll end the run with Hathaway. And that should be a pretty comprehensive dig into the primary conflicts of the Universal Century. With that, let's dig into the synopsis of the first compilation movie of the OG Gundam. We begin where every great story does begin. A kid's doing their goddamn homework while someone's getting attacked. We get an introduction into the Universal Century, a time of initially peace, but then a very sudden and disastrous conflict where one of the colonies of Earth, Side 3, declares its independence and declares itself the Principality of Zeon. The Principality, in a quick and sudden assault on the Earth Federation, decimates half of humanity in one large out attack. This then leads into what we experience in the Universal Century. We open on Side 7, where the arrival of Earth Federation's new flagship, White Base, has caused a complete evacuation of Side 7. Amuro, a young teenage boy whose father works for the Gundam program, is at home working on some robotics thing that he apparently just hyper-fixated on, and his friend Fraubo ushers him into the emergency evacuation ships, to which he stumbles upon some workers loading in a mobile suit. The workers abandon the mobile suit, and Amuro decides to load himself in, finds the manual, and gets into the Gundam, turns it on, to which 3 Zaku's, which is the mobile suits of the mass-produced mobile suits of the Principality of Zeon, attack. Amuro very quickly dispatches 2 of the 3 suits. Basically just, boy, I'm lucky. He wins. Side story, we also get another character, Char Aznable, seen exploring and scouting out information on Side 7 before it's completely destroyed, trying to steal information about the Gundam program. He gathers some information, snapping pictures of the 3 mobile suits that do exist upon White Base, and skadoodles by basically throwing grenades to escape. We get another showdown with the Gundam and Char in space, where we get introduced to Char's moniker, the Red Comet. A battle ensues where Amuro very quickly dispatches the Grunt Zaku, can't lay a hit onto Char's custom Zaku. Char kind of F's off when he sees a beam rifle completely blow up a Zaku in one hit, so he's like, nope, gotta get out of here. Just yeets himself off into nowhere. Basically, TLDR, they go to Luna 2, which is another base, trying to drop off the refugees from Side 7 and to let off the wounded commander that Lieutenant Noah Bright has taken over for. But Luna 2 doesn't want the refugees. They take any wounded military personnel, but they're like, we're not taking refugees. White Base gets told to get out of here, you crazy kids. And they're supposed to head to Earth to drop off these refugees. They head to Earth. All the while, they're being chased by the Zeon forces that blew up Side 7. And we culminate in the battle in North America between Zeon and White Base, where we get the big plot developments of the first movie. We get introduced to Garma Zabi, who is the youngest son of Dagwin Zabi, the leader of the Principality of Zeon. We get some development that he is, it seems like childhood to military academy friends with Char, and this plot development gives us the betrayal of Char leading Garma to his death by deceiving Garma's attack cruiser and saying that the white base is in a different location than where it actually is and has Garma chase after Amuro in the Gundam mobile suit, which allows white base to attack from the rear Garma's ship and blow it up. This makes Garma into a martyr, and the movie basically ends with this long, drawn-out funeral in the Principality of Zeon, which is very totalitarian-esque funeral for military personnel. It's very much a, hey, we need to make this person into a martyr so that we can rally all of Zeon against the Earth Federation. And the movie pretty much ends with the very concerning image of the Zabis basically giving a military rally-style speech at the death, or at the funeral of Garma Zabi. And the movie lets off with, basically sets up the conflict that is going to be the ramp up of military actions by the Zeon for the rest of the series.
The original series, which ran for 43 episodes, about a year or two later, was compiled into these 3 compilation movies to cut out some of the fluff and move the narrative into a more dramatic direction than what the original TV series was. This first episode roughly covers the first 14 episodes of the series, where we're left off with the white base fending itself off against Ramba Ral. We're originally just going to talk about Gundam Unicorn. So, me being insane, in 10 days, I watched over 150 Gundam episodes to get myself up to speed because I've not really ever spent a lot of time in the Universal Century. So I watched OG Gundam, Stardust Memories, Zeta, Double Zeta. And then David and I were talking, and we're like, Unicorn originally was a 7-series OAV. Why don't we do that? And then we'll start talking about some of the other Universal Century stuff as well. So we're essentially switched it up to speedrunning through all the Universal Century except for Double Zeta.
In 13 weeks.
I appreciate the condensed version of the storytelling, but I think the one thing that's missing in this first movie that was more prevalent in the TV series was how much effort the white base was doing to escape from the Zeon.
Yeah.
Because Char was at them at every minute, biting at their tail.
Minus the couple times he had to resupply.
Yeah.
Boy, howdy, did he burn through a lot of Zakus.
Well, you know, you've got Wonderkin Boy in the prototype gun. So prior to the RX-78-2, did not have mobile suits. Mobile suits were purely a Principality of Zeon thing.
The gun cannon's a mobile suit.
Before the Gundam project, they did not have mobile suits. Speaking of that, there's a thing that I really appreciate with the movie, is we barely see the gun cannon and the gun tank because those were terrible design.
I fucking love the gun cannon and the gun tank.
You are a 5-year-old child. We got to remember that Gundam was initially created as a way to push toys, and Tomino used it to create this more broader narrative instead of just being fluff to sell metal toys.
Look, I have the RX-78-2 suit, I have the gun cannon, and I have the gun tank. I built all 3 of them.
I understand it's a product of the late 70s, and it was designed to be low budget for TV broadcast. But the mechanical designs with the original Gundam are really bad and struggle and suffer.
The RX-78-2 looks really good.
I've never been a fan of it.
Really?
It looks too much like a Super Sentai giant robo. Do not like it. The most important thing with Gundam is it's considered the beginning of real robot stories, where it's not just mechanical replacements for giant superheroes that were the big thing in Japanese children entertainment of 60s and 70s, where they were invincible.
What's your favorite mobile suit design?
My favorite mobile suit would be the Zaku, just kind of in the Zaku class.
Okay, so you like basically all the Zaku variants.
Yes and no. I like the big, chunky, militaristic things. I don't like something that looks like a dude with a samurai crest on his head.
What about, do you like Char's Zaku?
No, I don't like
So you
Char's.
just like, do you
I like the OG.
You like the Zaku too?
I like the Zaku. I like the basic Zaku, and then there's
Do you like the Zaku 1 sniper variant?
I'm not as familiar with the variations to give you a yes or no. There's a kind of like an upgraded version of the Zaku whose name I forget. They're purple generally.
Oh, the Rickdom?
Yes.
With the rocket launcher?
I just hate the helmets.
Fair.
If the Rickdom had the helmet of the basic Zaku, I think that would be like my aesthetic ideal for a mobile suit.
Rickdom is cool.
Rickdom is cool, except for that helmet is dumb with the cross eye visualization platform.
I also like the basic Zakus.
And yeah, the Rickdom is nice. I just don't like
I like the Goof.
Okay.
And I like the Rikdom. My aesthetic,
Uh-huh.
I like the Neo Zeon suits better. So I like the Gyrodaga, I like the Zizulu, I like Kshatriya. My favorite of all time might be the Death Scythe, just because it looks that cool.
Barbados, come on now.
Yeah, the Barbatos looks really cool too. I only like Barbatos though when it's in 5th form.
Okay.
The Lupus Rex
Yep.
is the coolest version of Barbatos. There's just so many cool designs for me. Like the Freedom is really cool. The Justice is really cool.
These are all later things though, when they had a better.
But I also said I like.
Better budget for design.
But to be fair,
in
I also
detail.
said I like the RX-78 too.
So a big problem with the original Gundam is just how sloppy they were with the animation.
Yeah.
You have these machines of metal moving and bending as if they're human.
I also just like the gun and shield aesthetic that the RX-78 too has.
So here's the thing that always bothered me with the shield. The shield in most cases is impervious to all attacks.
Yes.
Except for when it's not, because it's narratively important.
Let's say except for when Char hits it with his axe.
So,
Which I thought about doing a diorama of the scene where they're in space
Nice.
and Char's axe gets embedded into the shield.
so it's the black box paradox. Why don't you just make the whole plane out of the black box material? Which I understand why.
Well, to be
it
fair,
isn't true.
the Gundam mobile suit is
It's quite
seen to be mostly impervious to everything.
correct.
So I think the shield is made out of the material that the mobile suit is made of.
Tomino and the rest of the writing crew went to great lengths to showcase the hero of the story as being infallible.
Right.
Where countless times for narrative convenience, he's low on ammo. He has to drop weapons all the time. He will survive, but
He also has a lot of PTSD.
yeah.
A lot of PTSD.
Well, he's like a 15, 16-year-old
Yeah.
kid
Yeah,
who's
and then
suddenly being, forced into killing people.
and then Noah Bright's cure for PTSD is, what did a 5 fingers say to the face? Slap.
I think Bright,
Bright's doing the best he can with what he's got.
with all of the Gundam that I've watched now within the past week and a half of recording this, Twitch, Bright is the best character in the Universal Century, hands down.
And he sticks around for a while.
He is a main character through at least 3 of the series.
And he's at least mentioned in Unicorn.
And spoiler alert, Hathaway is his son.
Yeah.
Which I can't wait till we get into Hathaway because I've watched a bit of that. Oh, that looks beautiful. It looks so good. But it's 30, 40 years newer. It's hard not to see other science fiction influences in Gundam.
Right.
There is a lot of feel of Star Wars within it.
New types are Jedi.
New types are very much Jedi. The mobile suits have lightsabers.
Yeah, understatement.
They call them beam sabers, right? Yeah, beam sabers.
Yeah. Well, it depends on what faction you're talking to. The Earth Federation calls them beam sabers.
The original concept of the mobile suits were inspired by cover artwork for the Japanese release in the 60s of Starship Troopers. It's not hard to see the influence of Gundam based upon the history of popular science fiction that was available to the people who created it at the time. Not saying that it's a copy of any of those, but it is very much influenced by a lot of that science fiction around it. Of course, I mean, nothing exists in a vacuum, obviously, especially in science fiction. Science fiction worldwide just has this lexicon that anybody who loves science fiction enough to create their own is intimately familiar with. Not so much while I was watching the movie, but when I was watching the TV series, the first couple of episodes where it was this prolonged chase to Earth, trying to get away from Char, made me think a lot about the first couple of episodes of The Expanse. Those first couple episodes of The Expanse felt very similar to the tone and the concept of what was going on. Not having anything to do with it essentially being a conflict between people in colonies versus the Earth, whereas Expanse is the people in the belt versus the Earth and Mars. But the idea of replace the crew of the White Base with what eventually becomes the crew of the Rocinante, and their whole attempt to not be destroyed by whatever people are behind this thing that they've discovered.
Noah Bright's the true hero of OG Mobile Suit. That Kai's bastard.
I'm not going to say he gets better as the story goes on, but you hate him less near the end of the story.
I do love Ryu, though.
Ryu's a good character. Strong, stalwart figure. You know who I feel sorry for in the original Gundam story?
Sayla Moss.
No, Sayla's fine. Frau.
Oh, yeah, Frau Bo is good. She gets...
She loves Amaru.
Yeah, she loves Amuro.
And he is busy chasing other skirts.
He's also ambivalent to her existence.
Yeah, he just takes her for granted. Because I can't remember her name, but there's the redheaded, what is she, lieutenant? She shows up near the end of them. She's helping them out as they're trying to escape the Zeon when they're on Earth. I forget what her name is.
Also, who does he like accidentally come in on showering because that one girl asks him to fix the sink?
Bro.
Was that Frau?
We really only see, aside from the two kids that I'm glad we see very little of in the series, they're still around in Double Zeta.
Those two kids are still around in Double Zeta?
Still around.
They're at least teenagers at that point, right?
Yes, because they get adopted by members of
The
White
Base crew.
They're really prominent in Zeta, though.
Those kids are annoying.
So there's an amount of nudity that exists within the original couple of series.
Yeah.
And the only nudity we really see in the original Gundam are the two kids and then Frau, typically because of bathing scenes.
Yeah.
The nudity in Double Zeta is a little concerning because that character's like 12. Oh, the Frau's like 16. Anyways, different.
Steve's like, I digress.
Different societal moral standards. In Japan, nudity is not as big of a concern, but
Right.
there's the whole age problem that sometimes is problematic. Anyways, I appreciate the brevity of the movie, but it does feel like they cut out a little bit too much. Like the whole, I'm glad they didn't do the episode where they had all the people that were in the ship revolting, and that's all stuff that dealt with, like they spent a couple of episodes, if I remember correctly, dealing with Luna 2 and the commander of Luna 2 being kind of a jerk
and wanting to like
to them,
arrest and put on trial Noah
yeah,
for like stealing White Base.
yeah.
Even though his commander was like wounded.
And the commander dies.
Yeah.
And that's in this whole narrative point. That was just like, go on to Earth. When they initially land on Earth, they end up in the middle of Zeon territory, and they're like struggling to get into friendly territory for a while. And then they finally get there, and they're like, hey, welcome. So no break for you guys because this war is heating up, and we need our best weapon right now, and you guys know how to run it than anybody else, so welcome to the armed forces, everybody.
Yeah,
now, get out there. Here's the next mission.
Yeah, I love that they all get drafted.
Yep.
Frau, Amuro, and that other kid.
Well, all the kids. Ryu.
Kai was already.
No, he wasn't.
I thought he was.
Nope, Kai was one of the.
You're right.
Kai was a refugee from Side 7.
You're right. It's just he's older.
Maybe.
It is referenced.
Then
at least in the TV show, Kai's referenced.
Hayato.
Hayato, yeah.
Short kid.
The
round head.
That usually pilots gun tank.
Yes.
Along with Ryu.
Yep.
Ryu is the existing.
Ryu was an
He
existing soldier.
Sergeant.
He might have been. So many of the narrative plot points in Gundam, particularly later series, stem from people just jumping into the mobile suit and taking off. You would think, at least after a while, they would have safety measures put in place to stop people from just leaving with the Gundam.
Install child locks.
Like activation key.
A permission request. Like you have to be given permission from the main bridge.
Have the bridge control the
launch parameters.
The door
anything.
To get out. It's like, oh my God. It's terrible in Double Zeta. Every other episode, it's like somebody's getting into the mobile suit without permission and causing trouble. It's the most ridiculous thing. Put locks on the Gundams, y'all.
I mean, kind of happens in every series. It happens in IBO. Mikazuki will just get into Barbatos and then what's Mikazuki doing?
He's fighting people.
He's killed 50 Gallarhorn mobile suits already, and you're just like, what?
Yeah, but usually in these Gundam series, it's, I'm sad and depressed, I'm leaving. And then they hop into the mobile suit and then leave and then find themselves in combat and then come back and get slapped.
That's why it's called the Universal Century.
We need
everybody's universally crying.
That's the problem too that you had brought up with just a slap on the wrist. More of these people need to be held in the brig. Just indefinitely.
Well, even when they held Amuro in the brig, this is next movie. They're like, okay, you're free now. After they need him to pilot the Gundam.
Necessity, they need him to go kill for them.
Well, right. But it's like...
he's really good at it because he's a space wizard.
But it's like, you put him in the brig, and then Sayla tries to pilot the Gundam, and Sayla just fails miserably. And you're like, good job. I don't even know...
Sayla's not the best pilot.
I was like, after she fails miserably at using the mobile suit, I'm like... why is she still around again?
Sayla's a good character, but she's not a good pilot.
She's a great character. I love Sayla as a character. Yes. But as a mobile suit pilot, she's god-awful.
That's because Amuro is our wonderkin.
I also like the pilot for the White Base. She is...
Oh, Mirai?
Yeah.
Mirai is a good character.
She's the one that marries Noah, right?
Spoiler, yes. Bright and Mirai get married.
Well, we already know he has a kid because you said that about Hathaway.
They have 2 kids.
Fair.
But Hathaway is the older one, yes.
He has at least one sex trophy.
Yes. Yes.
I'm excited for all of this. Like, it's been my dream for a little bit now after like really falling
Getting
in
into
love
the
with
card
Gundam.
game. So what spurred this for me was watching GQX, and I'll post a card up so you can go to the episode where John and Adam and I were talking about GQX. Is GQX showed me what I was missing. It's just a giant wink to Gundam fandom. And I didn't understand without reading the wiki in certain points, and then after the fact having John just lay it all on me, everything I didn't understand in GQX that was directly related to the original Gundam series. GQX is a re-spinning of the beginning of the Gundam Universal Century into a different timeline, while also paying homage to the original Gundam series at every single corner. So after we get done with this, you will then should go watch GQX, because you will have a greater appreciation of it when you watch it.
I'll understand the Universal
than
Century.
I did. So I'm like, yeah, I should probably finally get around to watching the Universal Century. So I have. I've watched most of it already in a 10-day stretch.
Now I got to catch up because I don't have the stupid time that Steve does to watch anime.
All right, we got anything else?
No, I'm excited to do this though. I'm like amped. I'm gassed.
We're going to move through the core of the UC, and then we'll go from there. At some point this year, we will also have another episode where David and John and Adam are discussing Iron-Blooded Orphans. In January, we're going to do a follow-up episode to this season's efforts, where we just kind of discuss the philosophy of Universal Century and its impact in general upon anime and science fiction in general.
And upon itself. I mean, the consequences, we could actually do an in-depth review of the different actions of different characters and the consequences that it has for... We could do like a full-blown analysis of the Universal Century.
We can do a lot of
John.
content.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening. Let us know what you think about our journey into the Universal Century. It'll be a bit rushed, but we'll get there in the end. At least the core story, you could argue.
I don't think 13 weeks is rushed.
For technically 4 TV series and a handful of movies in general, but we're really just doing the movies and then OAV for Unicorn.
Yeah, it's not rushed.
Yeah. So you should see the schedule on the screen of what we're going to be talking about when. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Hit that bell so you get notified when we have new videos drop. This week also sees the return of Weekly Ranma, as Season 2 of the Ranma 1/2 remake has dropped. So check out that first episode on Friday. We are very excited to have the return of one of my legacy favorites. And then David has been enjoying the very much needed refresh of the story. We'll check you guys next time.